Hello and welcome to the Whisky.com news with a rewind of 2019. Yeah, we're gonna have a look at all the big news of 2019. The first news is all-round year news, which was the Game of Thrones editions. We started at the beginning of the year with the new 8 single malts, one for each house and one for the Night's Watch. Then in September, there were 2 new Johnny Walkers with a Song of Fire and a Song of Ice. And in the end, we had in September the Mordlach 15 as the 6 Kingdoms. Yeah, well, they were pretty popular, and Game of Thrones is pretty popular, so our little whiskey niche got a bit more exposure to the mainstream. Then we had a lot of design changes over the year. The design changes included Arran, Redbreast, Glenlivet, Glenfiddich, Glenmorangie, Tomat, and Cuboccan. Most of these whiskies changed their boxes and their labels on their whiskey, and it was time for a little update to be a bit more modern. Yeah. Then in March, we had a really big accident at Barton. The distillery was already shaken by one of their warehouses collapsing in 2018. And now the leg of one of their beer wells collapsed. And the beer well was shifting and damaging 3 other tanks. In the end, there was a lot of leakage and a lot of beer spilling over the Barton Estate. And it must have been a horrible sight because it was 120,000 gallons of 8% beer without hops. So it was a pretty big mess. Then we have a legal battle in April between Glenfiddich and an Indian company, and Glenfiddich actually lost. The Indian company created a brand called Glen Fleet with a stag on it, green background, golden foreground, and that is very similar to a Glenfiddich bottle. So they went before the International Property Office and they decided it's not a violation, so the Indian company is allowed to proceed, and Glenfiddich lost the case. Then in May, Diageo got the permit for the Port Ellen Distillery. So in October 2017, they announced they wanted to rebuild Port Ellen Distillery, and now this year they handed in their detailed plans for building the distillery of Port Ellen, and it will probably build a few years. Then in June, we had another warehouse collapsing, and it was the O.C. Tyler Distillery's warehouse, and about 4,000 barrels were damaged during this partly collapse of the warehouse. And now they want to implement a new application to monitoring their rick warehouses to have a look if they are still stable. In July, we had a little personal drama because the Whisky.com cask had a crack. Yeah, the Whisky Vision TV, a live stream showed that there was a crack inside the glass, and we actually pumped out the whiskey, lost only about 2-3 gallons or 5 liters, about that, in whiskey, and we had the cask repaired, but now with wooden ends, and then refilled the cask, and now it's maturing, and the spirit inside the cask has already matured for 2 years in a cask. And then in July, we had a fire. On the 2nd of July, the one warehouse of Jim Beam caught fire, and 45,000 barrels were destroyed during this incident, and it was due to a lightning strike. So a big tragedy there, but the market was not that much shaken, and the insurance probably paid for it. Then in September, we had another legal battle, this time between the German company Glen Els versus the SWA, the Scotch Whisky Association. Glen Els should not be called Glen Els because it is too Scottish. and they actually lost, and now they are called Elsburn. They have changed all their properties, their printing labels, and now the bottles come out as Elsburn, and they're already out on the market. Then in November we have the last big news. It was the restoration or the rejuvenation of Rosebank. Yeah, Rosebank is being rebuilt and it should be reopened in 2021. The distillery was closed for 25 years, and Ian MacLeod has bought them from their previous owner Diageo, and they now want to rebuild them and hopefully open them in 2021. Yeah, this was it for the news rewind of 2019. We couldn't include all the news, obviously, but we've included all the special news. If you had any news that really shook you up or you found really interesting, put it down in the comments below so everybody can read them and enjoy them. So thank you very much for watching this video, and have a nice rest of the year and a happy new year.